So if
philosophy.
anyone's listening to this, we get a blend of different people. Sometimes there are people who are very experienced, have, worked in large business, corporate or whatever else for 25 years. Sometimes there's, people in the professional services industry. If they're listening to this and they're thinking, you know what, it's always been a goal of mine to join a board, to be a board advisor or board member, what do you advise them to do first? So what's the, if they were going to try and get into this world, what's the first thing they should do?
Just pick up a copy of my book.
Well, of course. Besides that, because we're calling it the blueprint, right? So it's going to have the step by step, I expect.
Sure. Yeah, look, I think it's actually relatively easy. I talk about 5 components in the book to kind of go on this board journey. The first one is connections. So building your connections. Most of us are fairly organic with the way we build connections. You need to start being quite deliberate, connecting with people that are already on boards. The second piece is knowledge. If you haven't started to look at kind of what goes on with board governance, understanding where key themes like ESG or diversity, you need to start getting a bit of awareness of that. You don't need to be an expert in these areas, but you do need to be able to speak the language, be able to read a balance sheet, that kind of stuff. The third one is profile. Just starting to change your profile from whatever you're currently known for to start saying, and this is where joining an advisory board is really interesting. We do with our members at the Veblen Group, within 30 to 60 days, we want all of them to have joined an advisory board. And one of the primary reasons is that the minute they do it, they update their LinkedIn profile and they say, now I'm sitting on the board of XYZ company. And what happens is, without exception, that's the most popular posts they ever have in their lives, like the amount of comments and congratulations. But what it does is that your entire network starts to view you in a completely different light. You're now not Nick the IT guy, you're sitting on a board. So clearly somebody values you in a strategic level that hasn't happened before. And he actually just got from one of my team, sent me one of our members, Olu Fwemi in South Africa. He posted on LinkedIn that he'd joined the program, not even that he'd joined the board, and immediately got approached by a non-profit. Within 6 days, he had been offered a position on this non-profit. And they just hadn't thought of him as somebody that was doing that. And once they did, they thought, oh, he would be great. And so he announced that he had now joined this non-profit. And 2 weeks after that, he was offered and on the board of another company as well. So it's amazing. And what you realize is that those 3 things, knowledge, connections, and profile, you actually realize if you play it right, you can get lots and lots of offers very quickly. The next 2 are the bits that people neglect, which is the value and the leverage. And the value is, okay, you've got a board seat. Now, how do you become a great board member? So you're not just sitting there, you're not sitting there for the coffee and the biscuits, but you're actually contributing, you're actually adding real value. And to do that, you need to kind of start thinking about business in a much bigger sense than most people have ever had to do before. But yeah, I mean, the first steps is get yourself, and actually one of the things that I talk about in the program and in the book is never apply for a board seat.
I agree with that.
I think this is because maybe it's because I come from an entrepreneurial background, like the idea of applying for something like and being handled by an HR manager just sends shivers up my spine. It's like it's out of my control. I'm not interested in it.
So you go. I've got a story to tell you in a sec.
Well, I was just going to say, but like in a board position, you shouldn't be applying. You shouldn't be going through that. It's a partnership really, and so you want to be talking level. And this is why I like the idea of don't apply for a board position, create a board position. Go and find a company that doesn't have one. Go and invite 3 or 4 people to sit on it with you. Now, those 3 or 4 people now owe you a favor because you've got them a board position as well. It's a great way to reach out to people you want to reach out to and build those connections. So
yeah, indeed.